light? The hell? Where's my light? Cracking jokes or what? Technical difficulties. What else is new? What the hell's going on here? What the hell? Well, welcome to the Cup of JoJo. What the heck? That's all right. You know what? I guess we've been through all this before, my dear friends. Something is definitely shaded. Communist. I don't understand. I just don't understand that. I got the window here. What the heck's going on? I butchered another video. What else is new? Okay. I butchered another video. Lord have mercy. We do have to fix that light because I will just abort. I will abort. I don't know. There we go. Sorry about that. What are you going to do? I close the curtains and I get more light. Welcome to the Twilight Zone channel. So, good afternoon, Leon Swan. Hey, I appreciate the supporters and everything else. And I invite anybody in here. I was thinking about something a friend told me and kind of said, you know, Mike Franzese, Sammy the Bull, they go on and on about all this other type of stuff. And they get down, they rock and roll, they tell great stories and everything else. But what about the women? What about the sisters, the mothers, the wives? And I mean, it's their right or privilege to speak on whatever they want. Maybe some things might be left sacred. And I mean, I guess they might have covered everything from A to Z. But one thing they seem to neglect is fallout. Well, Mike Franzese stressed how his family got affected in certain ways and everything else. And what about the wives that sat home, you know, without their husband in bed with them, wondering, you know, if they're going to come home or who are they with? Who are they sleeping with? Very relevant and easy questions to ask if a woman is in that position. And then you say, well, the women know that type of life and they should just accept it. A lot of these women were old-fashioned Christian women. And it might seem hard to believe that they had Christian values. But they had to stand by their man. They stood by their man. And they took it. You know, the mothers, their sons got killed. The wives, their husbands got killed. The children, their fathers got killed. The children visited fathers in prison. That's the personal, more compassionate type of story that I don't know if Joe Viewer out there in the world is interested about that. They're just entertained by the current stories Mike Franzese and Sammy the Bull are putting out there, and maybe that's good enough. But I was, you know, a lot of things happened. And like I said, I wasn't nobody or anything. But when you're around a close knit of people, so to speak, and you see them here and there and in whatever capacity, and then after things go down, and then there maybe was a changing of the guard, and some of their husbands disappeared, and then it's just like, where's Jim? He hasn't been home in 4 days. Well, I don't know. I'm not privileged to that information. And here's a wife with 2 children in tow, and they don't know where their husband is. They can guess in the back of their mind, maybe foul play, and it's sad. And if I was approached, I don't really know. I don't run around. I don't do any errands or any of that for them anymore. I just walked away from all that stuff. I don't really know what would happen to these people. I'm sorry. I mean, and like if there's brothers, like brothers that weren't in the mix of things, they don't want to go up to a club or a clubhouse of a gangster clubhouse. They don't want to go around there snooping around, going, "Hey, what about this?" I mean, because you can't, But the mothers were devastated. Children were devastated. The wives were devastated. The sisters were devastated. And weeks on, a cup of JoJo. Because I understand that, okay, all these gangster YouTube channels and everything else, like I said, it's a rodeo. But sometimes I try to pick a viewer's brain to think about some questions they might be valid questions. While all this is going on, what was a wife thinking? Some wife coming up to me asking me, well, is Jack cheating? Well, I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't tell you anyways. But so a lot of these women, they were reaping the benefits, yes, living comfortable lives, but the fallout from that was insanity and heartache and sorrow and fear. But I speak on it. I was approached, and it was just like, well, I don't know. I'm not a member. You know I'm not a member. You know that much. I'm not a member. I mean, I don't know what the hell. I'm sorry. I know. And they're like, well, maybe he ran off to Vegas or he did this and that. Well, maybe. I don't really know. But inside my mind, I'm guessing he's not coming home. They might not find a body. They were throwing bodies in the Niagara River. You can't get no bodies out of the Niagara River. It's devastating what these women went through. Fundamentally good Christian women, great wives, great mothers, great parents. And that's the fallout. Hey, the Black Tower, how you doing? I think I checked your channel out. Did I subscribe? I was rumbling through things and rummaging through things, and just start and keep putting content out. Just keep putting it out there, and if it sticks. Thanks, Alan. I try to be as honest as I can. And I know there's blood and guts people out there that want to see everything else. And I claim to have a vague memory and stuff and things. Yeah, thanks, man. And We're just people, and it's entertainment, YouTube, and like a guy said in a comment before. Oh, he wants FBI records, and he wants me to go through this big investigation of. Bro, that go get it from Mike Franzese or Sammy the Bull or Gene or somebody, but I'm not going to get in here and dig deep in that. Government agencies. No. I'm claiming to be that personality, but there's enough YouTube channels out there with ex organized crime members. Search it out there. I could try to tell a story and make it entertaining and elaborate, but and I chose to do the women of the Mafia because I don't see it touched upon on all these things. These guys are so macho and they're so hardcore, and they keep that posture going. They keep that image going. And forgive me, Mike Franzese his poor family went through some troubled things, and it ruffles me a little to even mention that, because it seems like a low blow, and that's a touchy subject, and I'll admit it. It seems like a low blow, but he's up there saying, "Listen." Well, listen. Broaden the spectrum. Of course, it's blood and guts. Organized crime channels are blood and guts, and there's an insatiable appetite for the viewers that can't get enough of it. I said I wouldn't be defined on it, and then I got a guy coming in and saying, "Oh, you only go so far," and you want me to investigate the proffers and coffers 3.0. You want me to go digging all that deep? And I think he might have been from the FBI. That's what I put down in the comment. What are you, from the FBI? My story is my story. You either like it or not. If you don't like it, run for the hills. Thanks for watching anyways. I'm not going to cry if you leave me, bro. I appreciate your support, but you want to come at me sideways. I don't want to be that guy. I'm trying to settle into a nice little YouTube channel, and I don't want to MF anybody, because I'm so quick triggered to do that. And I'm not going to pollute my videos with that. I'm going to learn from my mistakes and say, okay, that's your opinion, pal. Thanks for watching. If you don't like what my stories are, go somewhere else. There's 9 million channels out there. It's a smorgasbord. You like what you want on the buffet, well, you seek it out. This is my little item on the buffet. If you like it, you like it. If not, go search the buffet. You got Mike Franzese, Sammy the Bull, and everybody else on there. They'll feed you. They'll spoon feed you what you want to hear. But I try to give a little different perspective and an in-depth thing. Even though I wasn't a hardcore guy or a made man in that aspect, but I try to give a personal, compassionate things. I didn't have to be a made man. I mean, you say that's a made man. Well, that's Jim. That's Rick. That's Tom. They're people. They're flesh and blood. They're not these fairy tale characters that YouTube channel they're being perceived as. They're flesh and blood. They laugh. They talk shit. They got other things that they do, but there's no humanistic side to these channels, because they're smart enough to believe that the viewers don't want the humanistic side. Well, you're just soft, a cup of JoJo. No, I'm just trying to communicate a broader picture of how much organized crime affect everybody, not just a person that got whacked. Yeah, and then you talk about how he got tortured and everything else, and you got 10 million views. Yeah, that's fine. But there's a wife and children at a funeral crying. Maybe I'm a lightweight. Maybe I'm a softie. I don't know. But I seen them in front of me crying, and it broke my heart. And I didn't have no answers to give them. I didn't know. And, and nobody, where do they go for answers? Where do they go for answers? So that's the way it happens. And I mean, there's nothing more, but I feel sorry. I try to have a spiritual aspect to my channel, and love and compassion. And, I guess that doesn't mix well with hardcore gangsters. Hey, Alan, how are you? I appreciate you coming in here. I appreciate. You see, I'll take the time out and talk to my viewers. I'm not a robot that's just on here. I'm gonna tell this and that. I want to be personable because I do have a spiritual aspect, and I would tell Alan in the Black Tower and everything else, and I will say that's beautiful input. But you know what? If you got things going on in your life, stay strong. Don't give up. We're only human. I'm not defined by my past or whatever. It might have had some impetus on my trajectory in life, but we grow out of things. We get better. We redefine ourselves, and we need a good mental perspective for that. And that's why I have that aspect in my channel, because I do care. I was given a second chance at life. I was dead on the ground like a rat. I was given that. So if I use a YouTube channel, I want to give praise to whatever creation there is that I got saved from. So, yes. I think the older we get, the more we start to understand the consequences of our lives. And boy, do I look back the Black Tower and say, geez, I was so very well educated. And and then I got just sucked into this detour. And then that ran its course, and then I came back. But it's just like, and it's like, am I strong enough to come back? Cliche, learn from your mistakes. But man, there's people struggling out there. There's people with depression and mental health, and they're having suicidal thoughts. I mean, yeah, YouTube is entertaining, and they tortured the guy with a blowtorch, and then they got his eyes, then they got whatever, and then, wow, holy cow, 1,000 views. I do whore myself out a little bit. I'll admit it. On the thumbnails, yes, I do. I do whore myself out like that, and I'm sorry. But I'm glad my subscribers and viewers understand that. Because if I could build a community and give the community up, I will never be monetized. So, Alan was 1 pound, 12 ounces at birth, 1966. You're 56 years old. I'm 59. Holy mackerel. I'm still here. Hallelujah. Thank you, Creator. Whatever package you come in, Creator, thank you. We got the Black Tower checking in at 44. We got 59, 44. Do I hear 56 going? What's 56, 56, 56, 49, 49, 49, 49, 49. Sold to the greatest viewers and subscribers in the world. Hallelujah. I have fun over here. Maybe people think I'm crazy, I'm immature, but I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable. At the end of the day, I like to laugh. And I got a platform. Sold to the slurper and the guy with glasses. Take your glasses off, somebody said. Quit slurping. What do you want me to do? I'm not perfect. Gosh. Who is this? Spiking Viking, 1977. He's a 45-year-old over here. I was watching that with the black hand, and man, you talk about gangster stories that just Americana gangster stories that Joe Public citizen has been exposed to, and maybe that's what their knowledge is about, and their whole schema of knowledge on the mafia past. But those that Sicilian mafia and Bonaventure, I was just curiosity looking. I heard old timers a long time ago that were talking about that, and of course you can look up stuff, and that's like, if you didn't have the, it was quite elaborate, and I really ain't competent enough to actually speak on the knowledge of that, so I don't want to pretend to know it. But I was reading through it, and I was going, holy macaroni. Jeez. Hey, Mike John. Hey, thank you. The other guy told me to take the glasses off. I said, how dare you? I can't see. These are prescription glasses. Oh, that's on tonight? Oh, Mike John, that's my New York City man. Boy, we've talked for an hour and some minutes. Hey, I love all you guys. People put me down because I don't tell the stories all the way, but hey, at least I'm honest and I admit it. Oh, come on. Man, Spikey, you're really going into the archives. You're going in. What's the under? 60. Were you on the beat the other night? I know people don't jump off bridges. I'm gonna check that out. Viking. I'm gonna check that out. What's up, Joe? New song. Thank you. I don't have a lot of money, and I had to buy them with cash, so it was like, but it was worth it because I could see better, because I always do this shit, that goofy face. I do the goofy comment face, and it's like, oh my gosh, I want to smash him. How could you do that on your video, Jojo? You're going, looking at the comments, squinting like Mr. Magoo. It's like, are you that demented, Joe? I'm sorry. So no, I'm just looking and reading the comments like this. That over and under is 60. They might have 40 in the first half. No, you know how it goes with the parlays, Mike. My parlays. Hold on, Mike John, and thank you, Spiking Viking. I see your comment. Let me prepare for my parlay reply. 3 out of 4 cost me $700. The Boo-Hoo Serenade. Oh man, gamblers. I liked it when I took the action. I liked it. Them people would tell me the bad beats. I was like, your bad beat is Yeah, because 44 years old, 56 years old, 59 years old. It's that one game. And I knew that was the game. You know what my crazy mind was thinking sometimes? Is it more advantageous? And I'm a numbers guy, so I should know this answer, but I'm going to throw it out. So if I like a 3-teamer, so then should I use both sides of the 4-teamer? Or does that defeat the odds? Stupid, retarded question. I'm sorry. Just so I could say I cashed a 4-teamer. Quite ridiculous. I know guys that used to do that, which was smart to get the extra odds, but 66. I remember years ago when like the number would be in the 50s. College, the number in the 50s. In the NFL, these numbers that went to the high 40s. The NFL, if the over under the number was 47, you'd be like, holy cow, it's no way that could go over. And Now they're putting 55 up like it's puppy chow. It's kind of like, My channel got away people in there I want to talk to. It's about the women in of the mob of families. And tomorrow Colts game, Denver favorite 3.5. It just seems like I can't get an identity on Denver. They have a defensive team. There's so much parity in the NFL that it's just like one team looks like a marquee name, another team looks like a scrub, and they're just playing them even all the way. Yep. That's Neil Delacroix is just the legend and true. He's the true flavor of all that. And I love the name, Delacroix. Black Tower. If you want to put a parlay in the Black Tower, you got a game. Flip a coin, heads or tails. That's your first team. Flip another coin, heads or tails. That's your second team. Flip a coin, because at the end of the day, it'll be nuts. It'll be nuts. It's just, Fred Beasy. I don't know where you folks are coming from, but I appreciate your support. The Black Tower, right? I appreciate it. I really do. Oh, somebody said something about the people on the wall. That is my godfather. I mean, my grandfather. That's my grandfather. Hardworking man. My mother, his daughter. My mother, when she was in Hollywood, she had blonde hair up here. She had blonde hair back then. And then it turned brown because Italians sometimes, my sister has blonde hair. We all have black, but Italians, sometimes the sister gets blonde hair. That's my beautiful niece that just had a baby. And this is my daughter that's 34. My daughter's 34 years old. You can't see her with the glare, but she teaches English abroad. She's a good girl. So I had to get that in there for the one subscriber that told me that. So I covered that, sir. And that's that. My grandfather would take 25-cent daily doubles and 50-cent daily doubles, but he worked at a factory. He worked blood and guts at a factory. But back then, you know, the neighborhood, they would take little action and stuff. Nicky Scarfo, come on, you want to raise the bar? Was Nicky Scarfo an informant longer than people thought? Or was he at all? Or when they thought he was an informant, was he an informant 30 years prior to that? Because there's so much information. And that's why I say, folks, when it comes to the FBI, and then what the FBI fed out, and they have those proffers, I never get it right. But that's not, just because stuff was put on there doesn't mean it's the exact knowledge. It doesn't mean that that's the true hardcore evidence. Because believe me, they pitted people against people strategically, and there was blood shed. And I don't even want to get into all of that stuff because I don't want to, like that viewer wanted me to talk about, you know, dig up all this FBI information and show them paperwork. Yeah, you know, well, here, look, it's in the thing. That, brother, you think I'm actually going to do that? Jeez, you don't know about those agencies. They come and do anything they want to you. No, I'm not that. Go find Mike Franzese or Sammy the Bull. They'll do that for you. Alan Gray says, yes, I also have a huge interest in the quiet Don of Philly. He hated unnecessary violence. He'd rather work it out with a sit-down and negotiations. You know, Alan Gray, I sit back in retrospect, and I just wonder, why couldn't it be that way just so many more times? You got a corporation of different facets. Why? Bruno, there's well, the Bruno descendants. There was a couple of descendants in Western New York that I knew, gamblers, and the guy always had a bankroll. I don't know what his business was, but they used to come to the simulcast, and he would pound nice guy and nice people. But boy, I believe he was a descendant of those Brunos. That's yeah, I you know, and getting back to Alan Gray, that the Quiet Don of Philly wanted to operate. You know, some people wanted to have peace. Caponegro killed Bruno, thought he had the approval from the Genovese. Della Croce did it the same way, even though he could be a real killer. He played by the rules. See, some people wanted it to be that way, and some people didn't. Their horns got big, and it just. But it after the fact. My connection. They're trying to. Sorry about that. It said my connection was bad. Well, I didn't get a technical blunder till 31 minutes. But yeah, the ego. It's just that was so unnecessary to do that. Why go through? There was no reason to take someone, a truly bad actor, then get them. But just maintain it. Don't turn it into wars. But greed and paranoia come into effect, and then you can't trust your best friend from first grade, and then all of a sudden it's just the wild, wild west. But I would always think, just like your comment, why, like the Quiet Don, you said, why couldn't they just be more, just like in relationships, communication is a key. Just in a marital relationship, communication is the key. You know what? Well, maybe I was thinking about it the wrong way. All right, we could get by that. Well, maybe I misinterpreted this, the Quiet Don, and so we can get along. No, it's just that's the way it is. It's like, holy mackerel. I unnecessary violence. And like I said, the women suffered. I think the Bronx Tale. Yeah, that people. Who it is. But he's a native. I'm a Brooklynite. I'm originally from Brooklyn. And he saw it. But see, people think those actors, I mean, they're not like, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. They're just actors. They're actors. Chaz Palminteri, I don't even know his name, Palminteri. He saw what went on in the neighborhood, and yeah, he got a good perspective and a good point of view where he could play a role like that. He can mimic that. He can act that. They saw that from childhood. They saw things, and sometimes them children in the streets, they saw blood being shed in the streets. Yeah. He just like, as far as the Sopranos and all these gangster movies and stuff like that, Chaz just seems like he emulates that essence. It just, if he's an actor, he's an actor, but he seems like he personifies that. Well, you know what, the Black Tower. A lot of people might criticize me and scrutinize the things I say because they think that like Franzese or Gravano they're the end all story and commentary about that life. And there was thousands of people running around every borough of New York City, and like they just hold the right to disseminate facts or untruths. I admit that I don't know it all, and maybe I misspoke on some things. I admit it. I'm not an encyclopedia. I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning sometimes. I can't remember where I parked my car in a damn grocery store. So come on, I admit it. Genovese Bobby Manna was going to whack Gotti. The Black Tower says he's a nice and easygoing guy, but I wasn't always like that. Yeah, well, the FBI. You know what? I don't know why nobody or anybody doesn't speak on whether Gotti was an informant or Sammy the Bull was an informant before the world knew they were informants. Because there's a lot of testimony or speculation that it's and he says, and when I listen to people like you, me, I imagine it's much the same. But yes, yeah, because these guys, I like thinkers. I like thinkers. Alan Gray says, I was in Brooklyn in 2000 on vacation. It was still a family neighborhood then. I remember playing stickball with some kids in the streets. A good memory. New York City was glitterier then, but I never felt unsafe. You know, when you know we get older and we see the demographics change, the neighborhoods change, and you just want to go roll through there and just kick at, but right. Really, it was the Chin that was going to whack Gotti. Mana was his underling who would have did it, but Chin wanted Gotti. People don't elaborate as much on the Chin as far as gangsterdom is concerned. That, I mean, yeah, that's and his daughter is a real cool, knowledgeable, spectacular woman. The Chin's daughter. She's probably in her 50s or 60s, but she is one. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the children of gangsters and personalities grew up to be successful, regular people in society. And I understand there was fallout and damage in families, but the flip side of that coin is a lot. My godfather that freelanced a while and did a lot of things for different families. He got eloquent, successful, beautiful children. And of course, their father had a life like that, but they made sure that their children had a certain trajectory through their life with good support from the mother, the grandparents, and everything else to mold them up the right way. But whether they knew what daddy was doing over there or not, they still had that loving nurture to get educated and become integral, is that a word? Or successful people in society. So, if we're going to peel layers back, that's what I want to do, peel some layers back. Yeah, that is bizarre, Mike John. I forgot that. She was talking, she knew it when she was little. She was there would be things going on and she got traumatized and a kid hiding under the table, great bad stuff, but wow. Mike John's the NYC point man. Rita Gigante. Nice lady. You can watch her on Anthony. Oh, Ruggiano. I watched him before. He was a likable guy. I like him. Well, he flipped informant. You know what? Yeah, how much can you bash the informant? I mean, can anybody have mercy a little bit on the informant? It's such a bad word, but who can walk a mile in them shoes? It's bad. I know it's bad, and it's debatable. We don't need to get into that. She's gonna be back on Anthony's show. I'm gonna check that out. I like that guy. He's a straightforward guy. He's straightforward. It seems like the public can't accept for you to like a person that might have killed somebody. And I'm sorry. And I understand that might be the public's perspective. I understand that. Fat Andy, yeah. Mike, I watched like an hour-long video or something that chronologically went through all of that. And then didn't he do a face-to-face with Mike Franzese also with a split screen? He did a face-to-face and they were talking, and he was very, very likable. I think he's more transparent than Mike. Forgive me, but yeah, yeah. I guess, I might talk crazy shit out of both sides of my mouth sometimes. But, he did the show with Franzese. Yeah. It was nice. It was nice that they were talking about, they survived and however they made it to this point in their life. It was just nice to see some old timers getting along. We're older. Yeah. We're older now. You know what? When that fear and stress and prison and everything else, yeah, we could sit back as armchair people sometimes and say, well, that might, and maybe some people have to tell little fibs sometimes on their channels for certain reasons. So why should I say, you know what? I know for a fact he wasn't there, but he was there. And I know for a fact, what value does that have? Does that make my channel better because I'm calling somebody out to be a liar? If I gotta grow a channel based on that, then I ain't gonna be jack squat. Whether if I can because I know for a fact that he wasn't there because that means I've whored myself out enough on this channel, all right? I've turned into a big pig. I've whored myself out on this channel too many times. So I'm just trying to level out, okay? If the people accept me, they accept me, all right? I'm not a tough guy. I love these guys that got the knowledge. These guys got the knowledge in their minds. I can't remember stuff, and then people are going, oh, you don't know. Well, I'm sorry. At least I admit it, all right? I was around some people, yeah, but big deal. Big deal. It doesn't make me more of a man because, I'm trying to wear a badge of honor that, it's no badge of honor. I still got to be a regular guy in the world. That doesn't get me any more groceries at the store. You still got to be a regular person. I see these guys showboating. Some of these channels, these guys are showboating. Like, what? That's a badge of honor? Okay, maybe it is to some people, and some people get off on that. No. Anthony says the mob wouldn't have helped him with money or a lawyer. Yes. Was that his uncle? Was Neil his uncle? Is my mind messed up? Was that his uncle or something? Or his sister's brother? I don't know. Something in my mind just thought that they were related. But my perception of Neil Della Croce, my thinking thinks like, you know, I thought John Gotti was, whatever. Yeah, John Gotti was who he was, but Neil Della Croce is the creme de la creme. He was the man for it, and I like the name. Oh no, not his uncle Quack Quack says it was his uncle. Oh, all right. It's Mike John, man. Mike John doesn't mess around. I love you guys, man. That's what I enjoy. I don't know. I enjoy that. I got all this shit, Okay, my backstory is I was running. I had another life. I raised my daughter, and she's an adult now. And then I had an overdose, and I was dead on the ground. I was dead. I wrote a book. They dead missed. I sold one copy on Amazon, but I give it away for spiritual inspiration. And my memory, I was dead and I came back to life. So I had to relearn everything. And then sometimes somebody has to put something out to initiate a memory for my neurotransmitters and the brain science, but then it could stimulate further thought. That's why these guys want me to come up with FBI testimonies and all this. I ain't going to do all that crap. Why would a viewer even? I think it was FBI that made the comment. I think it was somebody just checking things out. I'm not that important. I'm not, don't give yourself that much credit, a cup of JoJo. You're not that important in the grand scheme of things. But I don't understand why a viewer would actually say that. Other than my paranoid mind thinking, what the hell would he want me to say about, so. Yeah, Anthony and Angelo. Yeah. I had a traumatic brain injury. I was without oxygen. I defied the doctors. I was dead. They found me as just a cold body. They brought me back from an overdose. Fentanyl. I'm not embarrassed or ashamed to admit it. That's what it is. I was on pain medicine and I went to the streets and I was like, ooh, heroin seems nice. Boy, heroin really does the trick for pain. Yeah, boom. And then that shit turned into fentanyl and I lost people. Yeah, Ruggiero and Ruggiero. I can't keep track of all that stuff. You guys got like a mind. You guys got minds like encyclopedias, for crying out loud. I'm saying, for crying out loud. Am I getting that old? You guys will. Thanks, Alan. So I had to relearn everything. I was on life support for 6-7 months on that. And then I had to learn how to walk. I was on skin and bones. And when you come in, when you do that, they rapid withdraw. Well, they withdraw you. And when you're on life support, you're strapped in by leather restraints. And then you just try to make a comeback. It was a slow process, but I came back to the best of my ability, and I defeated all the medical personnel. I defeated it. And that's why I always was raised Christian and everything. But I had some experiences where there's angels and demons are real. And I do the daily devotion from Jesus Calling because I was a Christian. I went to church school and I used to think, well, this religion, they got some good stories in there, but we're always questioned. We're curious and, we're inquisitive. And I used to think, and then when I experienced angels and demons, it was like, shit is real. Why me? But my experiences in my life just say they exist. I'm not trying to no, it's just, that's why I should be worried about how I present myself, and I want to be competent, but I don't sweat the things I used to sweat before I overdosed. I don't sweat all that. But sometimes I didn't have a filter when I started getting my bearings back. I didn't have a filter, and I just said everything literal literally out of my mind. So if my lady friend said, well, how's this dress look on me, Joe? I would say, geez, your gut's sticking out, your ass is as big as the Grand Canyon. And so, no, it looks nice. It looks nice. Like, I don't have a filter. I better rethink this shit. Oh, it's so mean and cruel of you. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you look fine, I'm sorry. But so now, and you know what? I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot of income. I don't have a lot. But my daughter is 34 years old, and my niece just had a baby, and my family, my daughter still calls me daddy. She's 34, and she says, I love you, daddy. And I'm just rich. I'm rich. No more drugs. I won't even take an Excedrin. Damn, I caught that damn COVID. I talked a lot of crap about that damn COVID, and I freaking got it and everything. And they were going to put me on all this shit. I was like, nah, I ain't going there. Just stay away from the drugs. It ruins people. Try to eat as healthy as you can. Quit these freaking smokes. I'm quitting January 1st. I have to quit. I came back and defeated all the odds. Angels came and saved me to bring me back to life. And I do this shit. What is it? Is it a crutch? I don't know. But I'm thinking, well, I live this long anyways. Who cares when I drop? Listen to the podcast of Art Bell and the Exorcist Irish priest. He was almost a prophet. My friend Chris was telling me something about that. Yeah. I got to stop because I used to be an athlete. People would smoke in my car and be like, put that shit out. Get out of the car right now. You got some brass cayunes to come in my car smoking like that? Get out. I was a distance runner. I played every sport in the book. And then, I started doing some things and I got nervous. I started smoking. And I was like, oh, geez, these guys smoke like chimneys. Chimneys? Mm-hmm. Malachi Martin is his name. That priest? Oh, what is that? Is that the traditional Exorcist movie, or is that just a different situation? Oh, man, I'll tell you one thing: the demons are. You know what? I got stories in my book about the demons that were in the room when my friend. I came back to life, and then my friend overdosed, and then he was on life support like me. And I was in the room when they were going to pull the plug, and the freaking demons come in there like they were going to harvest his soul. And it was like weird. It was weird. And for $9.99, you can know the rest. Nah, if I knew your address, I'd mail it to you for free. Because I don't sell them. I wrote the book because in tribute to I have a lot of different stories in my book, but it's like you can come back. Here's a dire situation, but you can come back. And the angels came upon me different times in my life. The angels were next to me different times in my life. As a 4-year-old in the hospital, as a 19-year-old somewhere else, as a 37, the angels came. And then when I was down on the ground, the angels came again. But the demons made a few visits too. Some in the flesh and some in the spirit. But that's why I try to be honest, because I came full circle and everything. And then you come to a equilibrium in your mind and like, what's really important? Like the Dalai Lama. And what is really, what's the definition of life? What's the definition of then maybe after you take on a lot of life experience and things that resonate in you, and then you might sort things out a little more effectively. And when it was all boiled down, I'm saying, happy creator. And I get pissed off bipolar. And it's like, you got that. You and try to give a additional part of your channel. So, yeah. I want to watch The Exorcist again. I want to watch The Exorcist again. Well, I'll tell you one thing. When we were little, we had lived in some haunted houses. If anybody if my sister or somebody's watching this, we lived in haunted houses. And we had to have a priest. Father Aquavia had to come to our house because there was some bizarre stuff happening. And them demons, when then you move to another place, them demons will follow you. And yeah. I'm almost afraid to speak on it because they might try to pay me a visit. It's like, no, well, I'm sorry, demons, but you know what? I got the power right here. You come step to Jesus and the angels. An angel will whoop a demon's ass. I said it. An angel will whoop a demon's ass. You could bring a little darkness in a bright room and you won't darken it, but you could bring a little brightness in a dark room and illuminate it. Case closed, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I rest my case. Oh, that's true, Alan Gray. I also agree in my experience. I agree. Well, we found stuff in the hallway, and here we come moving in. Hey, how you doing? Housewarming and everything. What was that? Oh, it's just the house settling, Marv. Okay. Yeah. A third of the angels fell. God said, go ahead, Lucifer, see who you can get. But my children know who their father is. You can roam to and fro. See who you can get. You'll get a lot of people. Satan, you've had a good run, Satan. You're on a 3,000-year good run. You've had a great millennium, Lucifer. But God's children, the Creator's children, will truly know who their father is. And we could wear spiritual armor. The demons weren't happy that I came back. They wanted me buried. The demons weren't too happy about it. Fear is the demon's fuel. Of course, you know that. And I'm not going to get preaching, but fear is the fuel that demons need. So what do? You stay, whatever you believe protects you, because I believe the angels, my guardian angels, protect me, and they'll whoop a demon's ass. They won't stop me from losing my 16 parley, but at least they could take care of a damn demon. Oh. I am. I'm making John 3rd. I really don't know how to decode that, John. 3rd. So I appreciate everybody that came in and spent some time with me. Fred, John, Alan, the other John. I appreciate that. Leon, who come back in, Alan Gray, Mike, John, Fred Breezy. I appreciate that, my good people. You kept me company tonight. And that's all. I started off talking about the women of the organized crime families, and I saw the sadness in some things. At one point in time in my life, I just saw the damage and the devastation that happened to it. And maybe those channels that are those gangster channels, and maybe they don't just choose to elaborate on that because that's understandable. That doesn't market them the way they want to be marketed and perceived by prospective consumers. I got a book, and that's all right. I got everything I need. I got good people that come in here and keep me company that don't even know me. That's my gold. That's my goal. So I appreciate it. My friends got one, Mike. That smart TV. They got smart TVs. Yeah, my friend was like, "Oh yeah, I got." It's like I'm so backed up on the information highway. It's like you got a smart, and they got. Yeah. Oh, you know what, Judge? You know he's young, and when he speaks, and how likable, and he's a Yankee. But I was gonna wear my Judge shirt, but I was thinking nobody would see it anyways. So this is the Buffalo Sabres. They might win 4 games this season, but welcome to Western New York sports teams where you just have heartbreak every year. But the Yankees are up. Well, they're already decided they're gonna play in the Mets are the Mets playing the Dodgers? I don't know. I can't even keep track of the leagues. I gotta relearn everything every freaking day. You think it's easy? I gotta relearn. Brain damage is, well, you gotta laugh at it. Brain damage, traumatic brain injury. But yeah, all right. So yeah, Judge is gonna get another one. Put some mustard on it. Put a little gravy on it. Yeah, that's good. 4th inning. Yeah, and my cable provider blocks out the games now. They blocked out, yeah. And and the commentator for the Yes Network, gee, I'm brain dead. I gotta learn this every day. The commentator, he's been the commentator, he's got the radio show, and he does the games. The guy. I loved when I heard him call that home run. I loved hearing the call of him calling that home run. It's like vintage time capsule stuff. Yeah. Yeah. You imagine that? And I bet the Yankees 2 weeks ago, and he got bombed. It's like, yeah. Like, okay, yeah. Man, that call is just oh wow, Joe Garagiola. Wow, man. Joe Graziola. Those guys were just vintage guys that were just monumental callers. And they're just the best. Just the best. Just great telecasters. Even going back to Howard Cosell. He'll call the game and he'll tell you what the guy had for breakfast and what he did the other day. Okay, thank you, Howard. This is Howard Cosell. Tell me, champ, did you think you had him in the 4th round? I had his ass kicked. You know I'm the greatest. Garrett Cole loses all the games. He has too much money to it. Yeah, oh man, yeah. I think I did the same thing, Mike. I got a very sour taste left in my mouth. I was up at Del Lago sitting. I was like, I can't count on this guy. Man. And it didn't improve my damn parlay up that much. I thought it was a cherry. It was like, I picked this guy when he's the worst. Gosh. Cosell, yeah. Yep. Things seemed like they were more innocent, less politically motivated, and things were pure. It seems like a lot of things now have, and I'm not going to get into the political stuff because I said some things before and I got kicked off Facebook. Censorship. Yeah, so, yeah. Phil Rizzuto. I was just watching something recently. Yeah, Jim McKay. Jeez, Jim McKay. And even that other guy, um, he was knowledgeable on everything. Football, horse racing. Uh, he's got a very common, famous name. Uh, yeah, I mean, he speaks poetry. He just when he, jeez, I can't even think. Freaking mind is shot. Yeah, I love that. That was my era. That was my era. There's still great ones. Great ones. Right now. Um, yeah, Evil Knievel, Snake River Canyon. I was on my bike after that, jumping off of ramps. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And the guy's he's on ski slope and he's going to do the jump and it's all screwed up. Saturday afternoon, oh boy, you hear that music and you'd be like, yes, yes. The thrill of victory. I can't think of that guy's name. Man, but he was another encyclopedia. I can't think of him, but he could go from horse racing to baseball, football. There was a lot of them out there. There was a lot. It was a great era. Earl Anthony Bolin, Dick Weber, Earl Anthony, yeah. I used to watch that. We used to go to the bowling alleys after that, and I couldn't even break 100. I tried to just do my little wimpy wrists. Yeah, Earl Anthony hit the flat top, boy, boom. My little skinny wrist couldn't even curve the damn ball. And I'd be the freaking caboose trying to break 100, and my brothers and friends, they're up there hitting 220s and 240s, and yeah, that Earl Anthony, the guy Baker, Tom Baker from Buffalo, Tom Baker, I believe, yeah, the brace. Tom Baker from Buffalo. He was on the circuit years ago. He used to go to the racetrack, would see him in the late 70s. And he's back in Buffalo 30 years later. He ain't got enough money to enter the championship. Somebody backs him for the entry fees. Somebody backs him in like some small bowling alley in South Buffalo. And he says, well, I'll back you and I want a piece of the action. And doesn't he win? And doesn't he win? But he was a gambler, and I don't know personally. I saw him at the racetrack, and I used to say as a kid, I saw you on TV, you did good. I'm 13 or 12 or whatever, and he used to come to the track, and he loved the action. And then however his life went after that, but the second stage of his life, somebody backed him at a bowling alley and says, put me in the tournament of whatever. And he won it. And then probably blew the money again. So I appreciate you keeping me company. Yes, Fred Breezy. I got to go back to work. Thank you, folks. Hey, man, thank you. I had a great evening. And I'll talk to you guys soon. So stay great, my folks, and let your next bet be a winning one. If not, next week we'll make a score. God bless you all. Thank you.